Eugene Piccinini from A Silver Lining here. Happy Friday. Hope everybody is well and you're looking forward to the weekend. Now, I have been posting a few videos on activities for learning and development professionals, facilitators, trainers, looking at things that can liven the training experience up for the participant. Something that can engage, something that's fun, something that's energizing. So in this very short video clip, we're going to be looking at Tuckman's stages of team development. 5 or 4 stages. I'm going to look at the 4 stages of forming, then storming, then norming and performing. You'll be familiar with that if you train participants on management programs. It's a very, very common topic. So essentially what you can do, instead of just feeding them the characteristics and what happens at each given stage, why don't you just map it out on a piece of A4, a couple of pieces of A4, the 4 stages with the behaviors. Then cut it up, okay? Cut up the strips so that the team have to basically match the stage to the traits, the behaviors, what happens at any given stage. Works really well. I try and introduce a competitive edge to it, maybe give them 2 attempts. First team to complete correctly wins. I do it, it's beautifully simple and works really, really well. I think it also, in terms of retention, it's more resonant. People and folks tend to remember what happens at any given stage as opposed to just giving them presenting a PowerPoint. Another activity that you can do, I call it the tomato cane, and it basically mirrors the characteristics of the forming stage, where everything's very polite, very tentative, because you don't quite know folks. Then you get to the storming stage where people start arguing, they're trying to sort out a pecking order. And then you've got the normalizing stage where it's the norming, people are working better together. And then ultimately the performing stage where people are performing at the highest level. You get a cane, you get a group of participants. The longer the cane, the better. And you get them to stand in a row, extend their elbows and also their fingers like so, not their thumbs however. They have to essentially lower the cane to the ground. It is impossible at the very first go. Ultimately they will do it, but they will be they'll be forming immediately when you place the cane. Then as the cane starts to rise, which it invariably does all the time, you experience a storming stage where people start arguing, blaming each other, saying, what on earth are you doing? You need to lower it. So that's quite fun. And then ultimately, if you're doing a 2-day program or a 3-day management program, give them a few attempts, and ultimately you're going to get to the performing stage where everybody will successfully lower the cane to the ground. It's a very common activity. I'm sure most of you have come across it. If you haven't, try it out. It works beautifully well. Have a great weekend, folks.